Have you ever wondered why the US elite unwaveringly support Israel regardless of the circumstances? Our story begins in the year 1948 when the State of Israel was established. Amidst a world still reeling from the cataclysm of the Second World War, the United States became the first country to recognize this new nation. This was no mere diplomatic courtesy, but a strategic move. You see, the Middle East, with its vast oil reserves and geopolitical importance, was a key battleground during the Cold War. The US, locked in a tense standoff with the Soviet Union, found in Israel a dependable ally in a volatile region. A foothold, if you will, from which to keep a watchful eye on its adversaries. This alliance was not formed out of shared cultural or religious affiliations, but rather the cold, pragmatic calculus of realpolitik. Both nations understood the benefits of mutual cooperation in pursuit of their respective interests. Thus began a relationship based on shared strategic interests that would only grow stronger with time. As the decades rolled on, the relationship between the US and Israel evolved and strengthened. This evolution wasn't happenstance, but a result of a series of significant events and strategic decisions. The Six-Day War in the late 1960s was a pivotal moment. Israel's victory over Arab nations not only reshaped the Middle East but also cemented the US's view of Israel as a key regional ally. Similarly, the Yom Kippur War in the early 70s reaffirmed the strategic importance of Israel. The US, recognizing Israel's military prowess and strategic location, extended its support both militarily and economically. The support wasn't just from the government, it echoed across the American landscape. The American Jewish community, though diverse in its views, played a significant role in fostering this alliance. Their influence, coupled with the rise of strong pro-Israel lobby groups, helped shape US foreign policy towards Israel. These groups, through their political and financial clout, ensured that support for Israel remained a bipartisan issue. As this alliance strengthened, so did American aid to Israel. It grew from a few $1 million in the 50s to billions by the end of the 20th century. This aid, often in the form of military assistance, underscored the strategic importance the US placed on Israel. Yet this relationship was not without its critics. There were international incidents, moments of tension and criticism from various corners of the globe, but the US-Israel bond weathered these storms. In many instances, the US stood by Israel, using its diplomatic muscle to shield it from international criticism. Despite the changing global landscape, the US-Israel bond remained firm, with the US often standing by Israel, even in face of international criticism. Entering the 21st century, the US-Israel relationship has taken on new dimensions. The dawn of this new era was marked by a global event that shook the world off its axis: the events of September 11, 2001. This tragedy not only changed America's perception of security, but also reshaped its alliances. The subsequent war on terror became a common ground for the US and Israel, a shared focus on combating terrorism that further strengthened their alliance. In a volatile Middle East, Israel emerged not just as an ally but as a reliable partner. With its well-established intelligence networks and military prowess, Israel became an invaluable asset in America's counter-terrorism efforts. Through common adversaries and shared security concerns, the bonds between these two nations grew stronger, their cooperation more integral. But the relationship isn't solely built on strategic interests. Shared democratic values form the bedrock of this alliance. Both nations, though miles apart, resonate with the principles of freedom, democracy, and the rule of law. These shared values have fostered mutual respect and admiration, an unspoken camaraderie that transcends the realms of politics and strategy. Lastly, influential lobby groups within the United States have been instrumental in maintaining this enduring alliance. These groups, with their political clout and advocacy, have been able to keep Israel high on America's foreign policy agenda, ensuring that the bond between these two nations remains unbroken. The relationship between the US and Israel remains strong, driven by strategic interests, shared values, and influential lobby groups. So why does the US elite support Israel no matter what? The answer lies in the intricate web we've unraveled today. It's a tale of shared strategic interests, the persistent influence of powerful lobby groups, and the invaluable role of Israel as a trustworthy ally in an unpredictable region. These factors have steered the course of this enduring alliance. While the dynamics may change, the US-Israel relationship, fortified by the American elite, continues to stand the test of time.